Who is the object of your young affections? union, I shall not offer any opposition. Take him, he's yours. May you and he be happy.
But, mother dear, he's not yours to give.
That's true indeed.
He might object.
He might. But come, take heart. I'll probe him on the subject. Be comforted. Leave this affair to me.
Had I a headache, sighed the maids assembled. Had I a cold, well forth the silent tear. Did I look pale, then half a parish trembled, and when I coughed, all of the end was near. I had no care, no jealous doubt among me. Beyond all other men, fled Gilbert and Belter before me. I was a pale young curate, a pale young curate, a pale young curate. Constance, yeah. Why, she is quite a little lady, I declare.
Oh, Mother, I cannot speak to him.
Yes, sir, she's nearly 18, and as good a girl as ever spelled.
Oh, dear, you pain me very much. Is she delicate?
Oh, no, I don't mean that. But young girls look to get married.
Oh, I take you to be sure. But there's plenty of time for that. 4 or 5 years hence, Mrs. Bartley. 4 or 5 years hence. But when the time does come, I will have much pleasure in marrying her myself. To some strapping young fellow in her own rank of life.
He does not love me.
I have often wondered, Reverend Sir, or if you'll pardon the liberty, that you have never married.
It's still my fluttering heart.
A clergyman's wife does so much good in a village. And besides that, you're not as young as you were, and before very long, you'll want somebody to nurse you and look after your little comforts.
Mrs. Partlet, there is much truth in what you say. I am indeed getting on in years, and a helpmate would cheer my declining days. But I have left it too late. I am an old fogey, am I not, my dear? A very old fogey indeed. No, Mrs. Partlet, my mind is quite made up. I shall live and die a solitary old bachelor.
Mother.
Come, dear one, don't fret. At a more fitting time, we will try again. We will try again.
Good girl. She seems to have something on her mind. Still, she is rather kindly. Time was when this old heart would have throbbed in double time at the sight of such a fairy form. But I am puny. Now, here comes the young Alexis and his proud and happy father. Let me dry this telltale tear. Sir Marmaduke, my dear young friend Alexis, on this most happy, most auspicious plighting, permit me as a true old friend, send my best, my very best congratulations.
Sir, you are most obliging. Dr. Davy, my dear old tutor, and my valued pastor, I thank you from the bottom of my heart.
May fortune bless you. May the middle distance of your young life be as pleasant as the foreground, the joyous foreground. Then, when you have reached it, may that which is now the far-off horizon, but which will become the middle distance, in fruitful promise be exceeded only by that which will have opened up, in the meantime, into a new and a glorious horizon.
Dear sir, that is an excellent example of an old school of stately compliment, to which I have through life been much addicted. Will you oblige me with a copy of it in crafty manuscript, that I myself may use it on appropriate occasions?
Sir, you shall have a fairly written copy ere Sol has sunk into his western slumbers.
Come, my boy. Your fiancée will be here in 5 minutes. Rouse yourself to receive her.
Oh, rapture!
Yes. You're a fortunate young fellow, and I will not disguise from you that this union with the house of St. Azure realizes my fondest hopes. And he is rich, and she comes of a sufficiently old family. For she is the 7,037th in direct descent from Helen of Troy. True, there was a blot on the escutcheon of that young lady, the affair with Paris. But where is the family, other than my own, in which there is no flaw? You're a lucky fellow, sir. A very lucky fellow.
I am welling over with limpid joy. No sicklying taint of sorrow overlies the lucid lake of liquid love, upon which, hand in hand, Aline and I are to float into eternity.
Alexis, I desire that of your love for this young lady you do not speak so openly. You are always singing ballads in praise of her beauty. And you expect the very menials who wait behind your chair to chorus your affections. It is not delicate.
Father, a man who loves as I love!
Who, son? 30 or so years ago, I madly loved your future mother-in-law, the Lady Saint-Mazure. And I have reason to believe that she returned my love. But were we guilty of the impropriety of publicly rushing into each other's arms, exclaiming, "Oh, my adored one, beloved boy, ecstatic rapture, unmingled joy," which seems to be the modern fashion of love-making? No, it was, "Madam, I trust you are in the enjoyment of good health." "Sir, you are vastly polite. I protest I am mighty well." And so forth. Much more delicate, much more respectful. See, Aline approaches. Let us withdraw, that she may compose herself for the interesting ceremony in which she is to play so important a part.
With
with hopes of gladness, chase the clouds of care away. Irresistible incentive bids me humbly kiss your hand. I'm your servant, most attentive, most attentive. Why with adoration, mad with fascination, to indulge my lamentation, no occasion do I miss, goaded into distraction, by maddening inaction, I find some satisfaction in a hospital like this. Sun as you're immortal, sun as you're divine, welcome to my portal, loved one, oh, be mine, immortal, divine, loved one, oh, be mine. Irresistible incentive bids me humbly kiss your hand. I'm your servant, most attentive, most attentive.
Sir, I thank you most polite for your graceful courtesy. Compliment more truly knightly never yet was paid to me. Chivalry is an ingredient sadly lacking in our land. Sir, I am your most obedient, most obedient command. What an adoration, man of fascination, to indulge my lamentation, no occasion do I miss. Goaded to distraction, by maddening inaction, I find some satisfaction, just to feel like this. Marmaduke immortal, Marmaduke divine, take me to thy portal, loved one, oh, be mine, immortal, divine, loved one, oh, be mine. Chivalry is
To indulge my lamentation, no occasion do I miss. Oh, without wishing to indulge my lamentation, no occasion do I miss. I'm your servant, most attentive, most attentive.
irrevocably betrothed to me. Are you not very, very happy?
Oh, Alexis, do you doubt it? Do I not love you beyond all on earth, and am I not beloved in return? Is true love not faithfully given and faithfully returned the source of every earthly joy?
Of that there can be no doubt. Oh, that the world could be persuaded of the truth of that maxim. Oh, that the world would break down the artificial barriers of rank, wealth, education, age, beauty, habits, taste and temper, and recognize the glorious principle that in marriage alone is to be found the panacea for every ill.
Oh, continue to preach that sweet doctrine, and you will succeed. Oh, evangel of true happiness!
I hope so, but as yet the course progresses but slowly. Still, I have made some converts to the principle that men and women should be coupled in matrimony without distinction of rank. I have lectured on the subject at mechanics institutes, and the mechanics were unanimous in favour of my views. I have preached at workhouses, beer shops, and lunatic asylums, and I was received with enthusiasm. I have addressed navvies on the advantages that would accrue to them were they to marry wealthy ladies of rank, and not a navvy dissenting.
Well, fellows, and yet there are those that hold that the lower classes are not open to argument. And what do the countesses say?
Why, at present, it cannot be denied. The aristocracy hold aloof.
Ah, the working man is a true intelligence after all.
He is a noble creature, when he is quite sober. Yes, indeed. True happiness comes of true love, and true love must be independent of external influences. It must live upon itself and by itself. In itself, love must live for love alone. Love feeds on many kinds of food. I know some love for rank and some for beauty. Some give their hearts away for empty show, while others love for youth and beauty. To love for money all the world is grown. Some love themselves and live forlornly. Give me the love that loves for love alone. I love that love, I love it only. I love that love, I love it only. Give me the love that loves for love alone. I love that love, I love it only. What man for any other joy can rest whose loving wife adores him duly? Want misery or care may do their worst if loving woman loves you truly. My love's thoughts are ever with his own. None truly loved is ever lonely. Give me the love that loves for love alone. I love that love, I love it only. I love that love, I love it only. Give me the love that loves for love alone. I love that love, I love it only.
Oh, Alexis, those are noble principles.
Yes, and I am going to take a desperate step in support. Have you heard of J.W. Wells and Company? The old-established family sorcerers in St. Mariacs.
I have seen their advertisement.
They have invented a filter which, if report may be believed, is simply infallible. I intend to distribute it through the village, and within half an hour of my doing so, there will not be an adult in the place who will not have learnt the secret of pure and lasting happiness. Now, what do you say to that?
Well, dear, a filter is a very useful thing in the home, but I still fail to see it's a kind of thing that places its person on the pinnacle of earthly joy.
Ellie, you misunderstand me. I didn't say a filter. I said a filter.
You don't mean a love potion!
On the contrary, I do mean a love potion.
Oh, Alexis, I don't think you would be right. I don't indeed. And then, oh, a real magician. Oh, it would be downright wicked.
Ellie, is it, or is it not, a laudable object to steep the whole village up to its lips in love and to couple them in matrimony without distinction of age, rank, or fortune?
Unquestionably.
Then, unpleasant as it must be to have recourse to supernatural aid, I must nevertheless pocket my aversion in deference to the great and good end I have in view. Athena?
Yes, sir.
Is Mr. Wells in there?
He's in the tent refreshing.
Ask him to be so good as to step this way.
Yes, sir.
Oh, but Alexis, a real magician? I should be frightened to death.
I trust my Athena will not yield to fear, while the strong right arm of her Alexis is here to protect her.
It's nonsense, dear, to talk of your protecting me with your strong right arm. In face of fact, this family magician could turn me into a guinea pig before you could turn around.
He could change you into a guinea pig, no doubt, but it is unlikely he would take such a liberty. It's a most respectable firm, and I am sure he would never be guilty of so untradesmanlike an act.
Good day, sir.
Good day. I believe you are a sorcerer.
Sir, we practice necromancy in all its branches. We have a choice assortment of wishing cats, divine rods, amulets, charms, and counter-charms. We can cast you a nativity at a low figure, and have a horoscope at 3 and 6 that we can guarantee. Are a Buddha or a Buddha chests, each with a painted hag who comes out and prophesies disasters. With speed complete is highly recommended. Our ladies' lamps are extremely chaste, and our prophetic tables foretelling everything from the rise of Accrington Stanley to the outcome of the Brexit negotiations is much inquired for, especially by some geezer called Davis. Our penny-curse, one of the cheapest things in the business, is considered infallible. We've some very superior blessings too, don't we, dear? But they're very little asked for. We've only sold one since Christmas, and that to a man who wanted to send it to his mother-in-law. Only it turned out that he was afflicted, wasn't he? Afflicted in the end. And it's been returned in our hands, but our sale of penny curses, especially on Saturday nights, is tremendous. We can't turn them out fast enough. My name is John Wellington Wells. I'm a healing in magic spells, from blessings and curses, and the person who prophesies witches and elves. If you want to travel onto me tracks, if you melt rich ankle in wax, you'd better drop in on the resident inn of a 70 Symphony Axe. With a thirst our salt of magic, and for taking a posthumous shade, with the pencils are comic or tragic, there's no cheaper as to trade. Thou comes with quantities of it, and for knowledge if anyone burns, we're keeping a very small profit who gives them boundary returns. For a good prophesy, with a weak prophesy, insecurity, futurity, some of history, comfort misery, and all the mystery, human perpetuity, for nativity. His hands are oracular, very spectacular, tentacle, tentacle, minutes, quite magical, passionate, nautical, soul, comical, and vanity, best, national, the taking of quantity, if anyone anything lacks, they'll find it already in stacks. If you don't look in on the resident inn of the 70 Symphony Axe. He'll raise you hosts of ghosts, and that with bad reflectors. and daunting grisly spectres. It can fill your house with shrouds and horrify you vastly. It can rack your brains with chains and shiverings grim and ghastly. Then if you vanity, change your vanity with an urbanity, full of satanity, best humanity, with an anti-vent to vanity, driving the close to the enemy sanity. Mind tautology, etymology, metamagnology, philosophy, spirituality, acts astrology, such as astrology is to require authority. My language on Wellington Wells. I'm a dealer in magic spells, from blessings and curses and antiphilters to prophecies, witches and elves. If anyone anything lacks, he'll find it already in stacks. If you ever look at another business, you know the sun to see what reacts.
On a very important matter. I believe you advertise a patent oxyhydrogen love at first sight filter.
Sir, it is our leading article.
Now, I want to know if you can confidently guarantee it as possessing all the qualities you claim for it in your advertisement.
Sir, we are not in the habit of puffing our goods. We are a long established house with a strong family connection, and every assurance held out in our advertisement is fully realised.
Oh, Alexis, don't offend him. He'll turn us into something dreadful. I know he will.
I am anxious, from purely philanthropical motives, to distribute this filter secretly among the inhabitants of this village. I shall, of course, require a quantity. How do you sell it?
Well, in wanting a quantity, sir, we would strongly advise your taking it in the wood and drawing it off as you happen to want it. We have 4.5 and 9 gallon casks, pipes and objects for laying down, and we deduct 10% for prompt cash.
I should mention that I have a nectar card.
Unexpected item in the bagging area. In which case we deduct 25%.
The villagers will assemble to carouse in a few minutes. Go and fetch the teapot.
But Alexis...
My dear, you must obey me, if you please. Go and fetch the teapot.
I don't think Dr. Davy will approve.
And how soon does it take effect?
In 12 hours. Whoever drinks of it is unconscious for that period, and upon waking falls in love as a matter of course with a first young lady he should happen to meet, who has also testified in his affection, is at once returned, and one trial will prove the fact.
Then, Mr. Wells, I shall feel obliged if you will at once pour as much filter into that teapot as will suffice to affect the entire village.
Alexis, many of the villagers are married people.
Madam, the filter is compounded on these strictest of principles. On married people it has no effect whatever. But are you quite certain that you are prepared to put yourself through the fearful ordeal?
In the good cause, I fear nothing.
Very well, let us proceed at once to the incantation. discharge your loathsome loads. Spit venom fire and holy choir, belch forth your venom tolls. You demons fell with yelp and yell, spread curses far and field. You fiends of night, your deathly light, in noise and plenty yield. Number one.
It is done.
Number two.
What to view?
Number three.
But enjoy yourselves, I pray. Eat, I and drink, be merry, I implore ye. For once, let thoughtless folly rule the day. Eat, drink, and be gay, banish all worry and sorrow, laugh gaily today, weep without sorry tomorrow. Come, pass the cup round, I will go bail to the liquor, it's strong, I'll be bound, for it was brewed by the vicar. It's strong, I'll be bound, for it was brewed by the vicar. None so knowing as he, and truly adore him he. Ha 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 ha, praise the Lord of the
Ceasing they drink, all thoughts are heeding, their tea comes quick, they are exceeding, their hearts will melt in half an hour, their only felt the potion's power, their only felt the potion's power, the potion's power.
Pain, trouble, and care, misery, heartache, and worry, quick out of your lair, get walk on in a hurry. Toil, sorrow, and blood, fly away quicker and quicker. 3 spoons to the pot, that is the brew of your vicar. 3 spoons to the pot, that is the brew of your vicar.
None so merry as he, and truly adore him he. Ha 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 ha, the praise the Lord of the sea.
aching eyes.
Oh, marvelous illusion, oh, terrible surprise, excites a strange confusion within their aching eyes. I must regain my senses, restoring reason's law, of fearful inferences the company will draw. Of fearful inferences the company will draw.
Why, love the housemaid, lights a kitchen fire.
charm works well, and all are now united.
Look like young boy, always a spell. It was they all have
But we are wiser, far wiser than the world. Observe the good that will come of these ill-assorted unions. The miserly wife will check the reckless expenditure of her too frivolous consort. The wealthy husband will shower innumerable bonnets on his penniless bride. The young and lively spouse will cheer the declining days of her aged partner with comic songs unceasing.
What a delightful prospect for him!
But one thing remains to be done, that my happiness may be complete. We must drink the philtre ourselves, so that I may be assured of your love forever and ever.
Oh, Alexis, do you doubt me? Is it necessary that love such as ours should be secured by artificial means? Oh, no, no, no!
My dear, time works terrible changes, and I want to place our love beyond the chance of change.
Oh, Alexis, it's far beyond that chance. Have faith in me, for my love will never change.
Can you absolutely refuse?
I do, and if you cannot trust me, you have no right to love me. You have no right to be loved by me.
Enough, Aline! I shall know how to interpret this refusal. Thou hast the power thy vaunted love to sanctify all doubt about, despite the cloud shade. To make that love thine so sure, that come what may, it must endure till time itself shall fade. Thy love is but a cloud. such love is like the ray that dies within the day. If such thy love shame, call it by other name. Such love is like the ray that dies within the day. If such thy love was shame, call it by other name. It is not love. It is not love.
It is singular. It is very singular. It has overthrown all my calculations. It is distinctly opposed to the doctrine of averages. I cannot understand it at all.
Dear Dr. Daly, what has puzzled you?
My dear, the residents of this village have not hitherto been addicted to marrying or even in marriage. Hitherto, the youths of this village have not been enterprising, and the maidens have been distinctly coy. Judge then of my surprise when the entire village came to me in a body just now and implored me to marry them with as little delay as possible. Even your excellent father has hinted to me that before long it is not unlikely that he may too change his condition.
Oh, Alex, did you hear that? Are you not delighted?
Yes, I confess that a union between my father and your mother would be a happy circumstance indeed. Oh, my dear sir, this news you bring us is very gratifying.
Yes. Still, in my eyes, it has its melancholy side. All this universal marrying brings back those happy days now alas long gone, when I myself might have... Latasha, I am puling. I am too old to marry. And yet, within the last half hour, I have greatly yearned for companionship. I have not remarked it before, but the young maidens of this village are extremely comely. So likewise are the middle-aged. Also the elderly, all are comely, and all are engaged.
Here comes your father. Mrs. Bartlett!
Oh, the Daily, give me joy. Alexis, my dear boy, I'm sure you will be delighted to hear that my declining days are not unlikely to be solaced by the companionship of this good, virtuous, and amiable woman.
Father, this is not altogether what I had expected. I am certainly taken somewhat by surprise. Still, it can hardly be necessary to assure you that any wife of yours shall be a mother of mine. Of quite what you would have wished.
Oh, sir, I entreat your forgiveness. I am aware that socially I am not everything that could be desired, nor am I blessed with an abundance of worldly goods. But I can at least confer on your estimable father the great and priceless dowry of a true, tender, and loving art.
I do not question it. After all, a faithful love is the true source of every earthly joy.
I knew that my boy would not blame his poor father for acting on the impulse of a heart that has never yet failed him. Sorcerer is not perhaps what the world calls beautiful.
Still, she is comely, very comely.
Sorcerer is very good and clean and honest and quite sober in her habits, and that is worth far more than beauty, dear Sir Marmaduke.
Yes, beauty will fade and perish, but personal cleanliness is practically undying, for it can be renewed whenever it discovers symptoms of decay. My dear Sir Marmaduke, I heartily congratulate you.
I rejoice that it's decided happy now will be
April comes. Alas, poor stricken dame, a gentle pensiveness her life benumbs, and I alone the blame.
Alas, on me and melody, I sigh for love, and well I may, for I am very old and grey. But stay, what is this fairy form I see before me?
Oh, horrible, she's going to adore me.
out and full your cover, yet I must decline your offer. I'm engaged to so-and-so. Every maiden in the village is engaged to so-and-so. So-and-so, so-and-so. So-and-so, so-and-so. All engaged to so-and-so. but unfortunately, she met me instead. As you had administered the filter to both of us, the result was inevitable. But fear nothing from me. I shall be no man's rival. I will quit the country at once and bury my sorrow in the congenial gloom of a colonial bishopric.
My excellent old friend! Oh, Mr. Wells! What is to be done?
I do not know. Yes, there is one means by which the smell might be removed.
Name it! Oh, name it!
Or you, or I, must give up his soul to remedies. I would rather it be you. I would have no hesitation in sacrificing my own life to save yours. But we take stock next week, and it wouldn't be fair on the company.
True. Well, I am ready.
Oh no, Alexis, don't do that. Mr. Wells, if he must die that all may be restored to their old loves, then what is to become of me? I shall be left all alone in the cold with no love to be restored to.
I had not thought of that. My friends, I appeal to you. I leave the decision in your hands. Or he, or I, must die. Which shall it be? Reply.
Die thou, not the cause of all men.
Die thou, you bow to this degree unbending.
Die thou, die thou, die thou!
So be it, I submit, my fate is sealed to popular opinion. Thus I yield. Be happy, Lord. Leave me to my despair. I go, it matters not with you. Oh, well.
Oh, my adored one,
Beloved boy,
ecstatic rapture,
unbearable joy!
come to my mansion, all of you. At least we'll crown our rapture with another feast.